Canada intends to recognize the State of Palestine in the 20th session of the United Nations General Assembly in September 2025.
There is no military purpose in starving thousands and thousands of children. Let us be clear.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Rayan Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services, from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
U.S. stocks ended well off earlier highs on Wednesday, with the Dow losing nearly 0.4%, the S&P 500 dipping fractionally, and the Nasdaq notching a slight gain. The Federal Reserve concluded its July policy meeting on Wednesday by keeping interest rates unchanged as expected. But for the first time in more than 30 years, two members of the voting committee dissented, with both seeking an immediate rate cut. Nancy Tengler is CEO and Chief Investment Officer at Laffer Tengler Investments.
I actually think it's kind of refreshing. The groupthink at the Fed has always bothered me, where it's a unanimous vote every meeting. I think what it's setting up is a debate for the future, and maybe around Jackson Hole. But certainly there are many, at least in my position as investors, professional investors, that think the Fed should begin cutting. They are laser focused on tariffs. That isn't even really their mandate, though they're tying it to inflation. But we think that there's a number of reasons that the Fed should be thinking about cutting.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell, however, chilled expectations of a September rate cut by saying it was too soon to tell whether the economic data would support such a move. Later in the day, markets turned their focus to earnings from two members of the Magnificent Seven. Shares of Meta soared 10% in extended trading after the Facebook parent forecast third-quarter revenue well above Wall Street expectations and raised the lower end of its capital expenses forecast for the year. And shares of Microsoft rose more than 7% in extended trading after handily beating Wall Street's revenue expectations. Tech giant reported blockbuster growth at its Azure cloud computing business and growing returns from its massive bets on AI. Investor focus now turns to Amazon and Apple ahead of their earnings results on Thursday.
A cool down in the temperatures is slowly falling here across the Northeast, but now we have this stalled off system stretching from the Ohio River Valley that is carrying some shower and thunderstorm activity along it, so especially stretching across our mid-Atlantic there into New York, and then we will clip portions there of the southern New England area with some showers and thunderstorms with some heavier downpours possible as we head into tomorrow morning, where we are seeing stretching there even from Maryland through even up towards Connecticut and Massachusetts. Will there be some regions accumulating over 2 inches of rainfall? So flooding potential to monitor here as we round off the end of the work week. But we are noting that the system that has dropped in is bringing some big time relief in that warmth for those northern communities. Still a little warm and muggy there for the mid-Atlantic. But looking at tomorrow, everyone is falling into the 70s, and we will clear out of the system with some brighter skies for the weekend.
Well, here in northwest Pennsylvania, we are looking at a much cooler day today with rain expected and highs only getting into the upper 60s. Some clouds this evening giving way to mainly clear skies overnight with lows in the mid-50s. Friday, the 1st of August, mostly sunny skies with temperatures in the mid-70s. Saturday, mostly sunny, upper 70s. Sunday, mostly sunny, low 80s. Monday, partly cloudy with temperatures in the low 80s. Meadville this morning's at 64 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 63. Titusville, 66. Franklin, 69. Oil City, 69 degrees here at 7:14. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
It's gonna be a good morning. With Luke and Amy on the morning trail. It's gonna be a good morning.
Well, we hope it is a good morning for you here this morning. Happy Thursday, getting you closer to the weekend. a bit cooler out there, so there's that. Got some rain in the forecast for today, so yeah, that's what we're looking at. Amy's got birthdays, what we're celebrating. We've got Tambra Warner Sabatini from the Titusville Alumni Association joining us in the 8 o'clock hour. Our friends from Drakewell Museum will be with us. Looking forward to catching up with all our guests. Of course, next week is Titusville's Oil Festival, and which, if you don't live around here and you heard that, you'd be like, what? Oil Festival? Yeah, it sounds nasty, but it's not. Rich
it
history.
Celebrates, yeah.
Rich history.
History of our community.
Yeah. Looking forward to our guest. Tomorrow, we'll have a local author join us, Aaron Yoder. We'll talk to him. And also, Mr. Sports, Bruce Peterson. Pirates are on a roll. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Yeah, Cleveland with a win. So yeah, we'll get to some baseball scores from yesterday. Let you know what's going on today. That's coming up in just a little bit. There's just I haven't dated in a long time, as you well know. So, there's that. What would you call it? A theory with women being attracted to guys with dogs.
Sure.
Or is it doesn't matter what, male, female, if you have a dog, it's attractive to the,
Whatever. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess those days are gone.
Really?
Yeah. The days of like the golden retriever boyfriend. Mm-hmm. You know what the thing is now?
What?
Black cats.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Women find that men with black cats
That's awkward.
are in versus boys with golden retrievers.
I'm going to say no.
Well, I'm just saying this is the summer
What's
for.
wrong with us?
This is the summer where.
What's happening?
Yeah. So if you're if you're single. And you're like, I'm going to get a golden retriever or a dog. I think you can't just get any dog. I think that's the thing, right?
Right.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. No. It's the black cats. The summer.
I would say if you're a single male, getting a dog prepares you better for a relationship or having a child, because you have to pay attention to it. You have to take care of it. And I think you would agree, for the most part, you have to put it before yourself most of the time, depending on the dog. Where a cat is self-sufficient and meh,
You can pretend to really be into the cat, but at the end of the day, you could just let it do its thing and not worry.
And the cat's never into you. But a dog is comparable to having a significant other or children, depending on how many dogs you have. So,
Okay.
I think it's a lesson in life to have a dog. And our dog is amazing, and it's just one in the family.
Okay. Well, again, I don't have to worry about that. Do I?
No.
Should I be
No.
prepared to get a cat?
No, Lord, no.
Okay.
Ugh. But I'll know when you buy a black cat, there's something
It's-
going on. So, yeah,
all
it's
right.
fine. I'm looking for the signs. No more golden retriever.
I brought home a cat, which you're allergic to, so that would be another sign, right?
And our dog hates cats. Hates cats.
Okay.
Okay? You done now?
Yeah, I'm good there.
You good to go? Awesome.
Could you, when you look at like our kids, do you feel bad because there's all this stuff out there now, like the social media stuff?
Oh my gosh,
for
100%.
networking and meeting people, and it's like, what happened to the days of just going out or?
Yeah, no, I feel so bad for that, and for they just can't be kids anymore. They can't, have the emotions that they're supposed to have, or, their reactions or actions, because they're being judged constantly by everything that they do and they say. Thank you so much, social media. I think it's impossible to be a kid anymore, because there's expectations and, now you're going to get me on a tangent.
What?
I know, right? I'm going to keep my mouth shut about something. I hate it. I think our oldest, his girlfriend is amazing, and I love her like she's one of our own. They've been together for almost 2 years now, but they met like normal people. Like
Jail.
He went,
Jail? Oh.
No, he went camping with his friend in junior high and high school. Like he was always, and on the other end, it was a whole family camping thing. And his friend's cousin would bring her best friend. And they met, but they didn't start dating that way, but they kept in contact. And, they're dating. It was the normal way.
Yeah.
Like they met each other and, hey, there's common interest here. And that's awesome.
And there's so many, we joke, but there's, I haven't seen the ad in a long time, but the farmers dating website.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see commercials really for the dating sites anymore.
No.
But Disney fans just launched one, Single Riders.
That's funny, though. I really think that's hilarious.
I mean, the stuff still exists.
Yeah.
I don't see, the ads for them. But
yeah, I don't.
What were the big ones?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Isn't Tinder something?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Match.com or.
Yeah. We met and dated normally, naturally,
Jail.
Stop it.
Oh.
Stop.
Okay.
Did you see that Christie guy that I don't know his name.
Oh, yeah.
That when
he and his wife went to prison.
They went to prison and they were pardoned, got out. But when he first saw his wife, he felt unattracted to her because her hair was its natural color and she hadn't been that way. And
yeah, well, they both were in prison for a couple years.
I don't know how long, but come on, that's pretty.
Well, you haven't seen somebody in a couple years. Probably going to be like, oh, hey. Because anytime you see them, I mean, they're reality TV stars, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're caked in makeup and...
yeah, perfect. Yeah, but, I mean, she doesn't wake up that way. He doesn't wake up that way.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's get back to some, important conversations.
Birthdays and what we're celebrating?
Well, we got that coming up.
Okay,
but how about, football season's right around the corner.
Lord, help me, please.
So, Pat McAfee and his crew were in Latrobe yesterday, which was cool to see. Big question, will Carrie Underwood be the opening act for Sunday Night Football on NBC? Will that streak continue? She's been the voice behind Waiting All Day for Sunday Night for the past 12 NFL seasons. Will she keep that streak alive this fall?
I miss Hank.
Well, he does it, but he's ABC, ESPN.
Oh.
Or he was.
I don't know.
She replaced Faith Hill, remember?
No, I don't remember.
You don't remember. Well, Underwood took over for Faith Hill in 2013, and it didn't take long for fans to quickly fall in love with her version of the Sunday Night Football song. On Wednesday afternoon, NBC confirmed that Underwood will continue to sing the Sunday Night Football anthem. Her first performance will be on September 7th when the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills square off in a playoff rematch. Every time I say that, I keep thinking of Silence of the Lambs. Buffalo Bill. Buffalo Bill. For the 20th season of Sunday Night Football, they wanted to set the tone for the night by reimagining the anthem sound in a way that plays to Carrie's powerhouse vocals. while visually creating a seamless blend of stylized shots and behind-the-scenes moments, evoking the national roadshow that is Sunday Night Football week after week in the fall, Tripp Dixon said. Underwood adds, as always, Tripp and the creative team continue to raise the bar, bringing the high energy and stunning visuals that the Sunday Night Football audience has come to expect year after year. I can't wait for the world to see it, she said. So they're ready to go. They're ready to go. All right, birthdays and what we're celebrating here. Today's the final day of July. Can you believe that?
Holy cow.
Yeah, isn't that?
That's not fair.
Not at all. For the record, is this the earliest? Last night I mentioned to you,
yeah.
I think it's the earliest. The Count Chocula cereal is out in the stores, and I had my first bowl of Count Chocula for the season last night. So on the 30th of, you should mark this down, 30th of July. I think it might be the earliest I've had my Count Chocula.
Yeah.
All right, birthdays on this 31st day.
NBA owner Mark Cuban is 67. Actor Wesley Snipes is 63. Actor Dean Cain is 59. Country singer Zach Brown is 47. Actor and writer BJ Novak is 46. And that is all.
All right. Happy birthday to them. And happy birthday to you if today happens to be your birthday from all of us here this morning. Now, what are we celebrating today?
It is Harry Potter's birthday.
Oh.
Hawaii Flag Day. International Digital Adoption Professionals Day. Lifeguard Appreciation Day. National Avocado Day. National Chili Dog Day. National Jump for Jelly Beans Day. National Intern Day. National Mutt Day. National Raspberry Cake Day. Shredded Wheat Day. Uncommon Instrument Awareness Day. And World Ranger Day. It is also J.K. Rowling's birthday.
Uncommon Instrument Awareness Day. If you join us tonight at the open mic at the train station, you may see such an instrument. The Q chord.
Yeah.
The Q chord will be played tonight. If you're wondering what the Q chord is,
come see.
I can't even explain it. You just have to look it up or
come check it out.
Or come check it out. Yeah. So that's tonight at the train station. Gets underway about 5 o'clock, and we'll go until about 8 o'clock tonight. If you'd like to come join us. We have the latest headlines heading your way here at the bottom of the hour. We'll recap what's going on in the world, what's going on Wall Street. Fed's not budging. We'll have more on that. Let's see. Your regional weather forecast, local forecast. Much cooler today. You excited about that, or does the rain kind of take away from your excitement?
No, I like rain. I'm good with rain.
Yeah, it just means I can't think about going out and golfing today.
You can't think about it because we have something else.
Well, I know we have something else, but instead of being at that something else and thinking about, hey, we could go golfing.
Just enjoy the rain.
I'm going to.
It's going to be beautiful.
I will do that today. I will enjoy the rain. I think it's one of those great days, just getting stuff done around the studio here. We've got some editing projects. We're getting ready for our fall sports coverage here in a couple weeks, so we'll be working on that. It might be one of those like 2 cups of coffee kind of days.
There you go.
So, by the way, we've got some business news involving tariffs with Brazil. And if you drink coffee where your coffee beans are coming from that area, I think you said you bought some coffee yesterday and said that the price was up a little bit on coffee
by like $3 a bag.
Does that make you think, okay, we're going to drink less coffee, or okay, it's only a couple bucks, not a big deal? It becomes a big deal when it's like across the board where everything you're getting.
Yeah.
Right?
I think creamer went down a little bit.
Gas prices are dropping.
Yeah. A couple other things went down that had been up. So, I mean, it kind of balances itself out.
Okay. Well, we'll have all those stories heading your way here at the bottom of the hour. 7:30. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. And locally here in Northwest Pennsylvania, Looking at the next 5 days. By the way, just the weather timing is perfect here. Get some rain today. Things clear out tomorrow. Warm up through the weekend. But with Thunder in the City in Meadville coming up this weekend, and you got the Pleasantville Festival, it's going to be a beautiful weekend for those events.
With Luke and
Canada intends to recognize the State of Palestine at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in September 2025.
There is no military purpose in starving thousands and thousands of children. Let us be clear.
Swooping in to save you over $11,000 off your next Chevy truck. It's Community Chevrolet's newest mascot, Independence Dog.
Getting you approved by day, fighting crime by night.
With Independence Day savings running all month long, you can save more than $11,000 off MSRP on a new Silverado, or save nearly $3,000 on hot new SUVs like the Trailblazer and the Equinox. Follow Independence Dog to explosive savings this month at Community Chevy.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Welcome to Inspire Med Spa, the place you know and love for massages, Botox, laser resurfacing, and semi-permanent makeup. Now we're offering even more, including laser hair removal, tattoo removal, and hair rejuvenation. Our team is here to provide expert care in a peaceful, luxurious environment designed with your relaxation in mind. And with our newly added services, now you can get all your beauty services in one place. Visit Inspire Med Spa today, because you deserve to look and feel your best.
I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us, but try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same. But you have excuses because you're old, so it's okay.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom. Ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place. And now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said on Wednesday the U.S. Central Bank would hold interest rates steady, despite repeated demands from President Donald Trump to lower them.
It's all because of the Fed. He's done a bad job.
Trump spoke just before Powell's remarks, reiterating that he thinks there should be an immediate and steep rate cut.
We're keeping the rates high, and it's hurting people from buying houses, and we don't want that. I hear they're going to do it in September, not today. For what reason? Nobody knows.
Powell said the Fed is focused on controlling inflation, not on government borrowing or home mortgage costs that Trump wants lowered. Powell added that the risk of rising inflation from Trump's trade policies remains too high for the central bank to begin loosening its grip until more information is collected.
We believe that the current stance of monetary policy leaves us well positioned to respond in a timely way to potential economic developments.
The latest policy decision was made after a 9-2 vote by the Federal Open Market Committee, a rare split outcome at the consensus-driven central bank. Two Fed governors, both Trump appointees, dissented for the first time in more than 30 years. The split decision gave little indication of when borrowing costs might be lowered, but the Fed also said economic growth moderated in the first half of the year, possibly bolstering the case to lower rates at a future meeting should the trend continue.
U.S. stocks ended well off earlier highs on Wednesday, with the Dow losing nearly 0.4%, the S&P 500 dipping fractionally, and the Nasdaq notching a slight gain. The Federal Reserve concluded its July policy meeting on Wednesday by keeping interest rates unchanged as expected. But for the first time in more than 30 years, two members of the voting committee dissented, with both seeking an immediate rate cut. Nancy Tengler is CEO and Chief Investment Officer at Laffer Tengler Investments.
I actually think it's kind of refreshing. The groupthink at the Fed has always bothered me, where it's a unanimous vote every meeting. I think what it's setting up is a debate for the future, and maybe around Jackson Hole. But certainly there are many, at least in my position as investors, professional investors, that think the Fed should begin cutting. They are laser focused on tariffs. That isn't even really their mandate, though they're tying it to inflation. But we think that there's a number of reasons that the Fed should be thinking about cutting.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell, however, chilled expectations of a September rate cut by saying it was too soon to tell whether the economic data would support such a move. Later in the day, markets turned their focus to earnings from two members of the Magnificent Seven. Shares of Meta soared 10% in extended trading after the Facebook parent forecast third-quarter revenue well above Wall Street expectations and raised the lower end of its capital expenses forecast for the year. And shares of Microsoft rose more than 7% in extended trading after handily beating Wall Street's revenue expectations. The tech giant reported blockbuster growth at its Azure cloud computing business and growing returns from its massive bets on AI. Investor focus now turns to Amazon and Apple ahead of their earnings results on Thursday.
Two Fed governors break ranks with Powell. Nancy Tengler of Laffer Tengler Investments joins us today. Okay, Nancy, the Fed left rates unchanged as expected, but Christopher Waller and Michelle Bowman dissented, voting to cut rates by a quarter point today. That's the first time in more than 3 decades that two Board of Governor members formally dissented in the vote. What do you make of that?
Well, Lisa, I actually think it's kind of refreshing. The groupthink at the Fed has always bothered me, where it's a unanimous vote every meeting. I think what it's setting up is a debate for the future, and maybe around Jackson Hole. But certainly there are many, at least in my position as investors, professional investors, that think the Fed should begin cutting. They are laser focused on tariffs. That isn't even really their mandate, though they're tying it to inflation. But we think that there's a number of reasons that the Fed should be thinking about cutting.
So talk about those reasons, and also talk about what struck you in the Fed policy statement today.
Yeah, well, I think there was one noteworthy statement in the Fed policy statement, and that was that the economy is expanding, and now they're replaced it with its moderating, and I think that's a fair comment. I mean, we have seen deceleration. If you looked at today's GDP numbers, what you saw was imports. Really were a lack of imports, so fewer imports than we saw in the first half when the pull through was happening, or the pull forward was happening. So it contributed 5 percentage points to GDP. Inventory subtracted some, but generally speaking, the only sort of bright spot in that report was the consumer, which is moderating their spending, but they were 1 percentage points of the GDP number, and they're holding up the economy still. And I think what we'll start to see in the second half after the passage of the OBBA is that you'll see companies begin spending, and the consumer hopefully will get rejuvenated. But there are some cracks showing up in the labor market, so we're watching that pretty closely.
We saw President Trump today again attack the Fed for not lowering rates. His criticism has been relentless. Are we seeing some of that criticism start to seep in to the Fed in its decision making, whether it's through Waller and Bowman or otherwise?
Yeah, I think he's changed the narrative. Listen, I'm 100% behind having an independent Fed. And we could argue all day long about has the Fed been independent or not. There are many who think they've been political to a great extent. And we're a far cry from when Lyndon Johnson picked up his Fed chairman and pushed him up against the wall with physical force. So I wish the president would focus on other things, but this is how he does things. And so, yeah, I think at the margin, it's shifted the focus, and it has brought to the fore more and more people willing to say it's time to cut. And last thing I'll say, Lisa, is this Fed's been 100% wrong at every turning point. So there is a credibility issue. And there were tariffs in Trump 1.0 when he appointed Chairman Powell. He raised rates then in anticipation of inflation, gave us the 2018 bear market, and now he's waiting perhaps too long to cut.
So we get the latest inflation and jobs data this week with the personal consumption expenditures price index and, of course, Friday's non-farm payrolls report. What are you expecting, and how much do you think it will influence Fed policy?
Well, it's hard to know how it's going to influence Fed policy because, I haven't yet had a chance to look at the dot plot. Not that it really means all that much, but I think what we're seeing is a marginal shift to more easy monetary policy. But I think that the PCE number is expected to come in around 0.3%. It could be a tad hotter. I don't think that would be devastating. Remember, in the 90s, we had inflation of about 3% that coexisted with higher interest rates and robust stock prices. So I think for stock investors, monetary policy at these levels doesn't matter all that much. But I do think that the job market is starting to show a little bit of stress. We saw that in the JOLT numbers. The quits rate is way down and the hiring rate is way down, which is usually an indication that people are unwilling to make changes in their job because they're worried about finding a new one. And then we saw that the layoff rate had gone up pretty dramatically over the last couple of months in the JOLT. So I think we need to watch that. And that is part of the Fed's mandate. So I hope they're paying close attention. That would argue for a cut.
Because BRICS was set up to hurt.
U.S. President Donald Trump on Wednesday slapped a 50% tariff on most Brazilian goods, some of the steepest levied on any economy in the U.S. trade war. However, Trump softened the blow by excluding sectors such as aircraft, energy, and orange juice from heavier levies. Trump says the tariff is an effort to fight what he has called a witch hunt against former President Jair Bolsonaro, his close ideological ally. Bolsonaro is currently standing trial on charges of plotting to overturn his 2022 electoral loss. In addition to the 50% tariff, Trump's administration also unveiled sanctions on the Brazilian Supreme Court justice who has been overseeing the trial. Trump's final tariff order and the sanctions followed weeks of sparring with Brazilian leader Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, who has likened the U.S. president to an unwanted emperor. The range of exemptions on dozens of key Brazilian exports to the United States came as a relief for many in Brasilia. Brazil's Treasury Secretary told reporters that his country had avoided the worst-case scenario. Still, experts say that Trump's trade policy creates insecurity for companies that will in turn shake up the market. Evandro Carvalho is an international law specialist and professor at Brazil's FGV.
Trump launches a rotating tariff machine gun indiscriminately and without good reasoning. This creates great insecurity for all companies and sectors that have commercial relations with the United States. So they are forced to seek new markets to diversify.
The exclusions spare Brazilian plane maker Embraer, whose chief executive has met with U.S. officials in recent days to plead its case for relief. Embraer said an initial review indicated that a 10% tariff imposed by Trump in April remains in place, with the exclusion applying to the additional 40%. However, Trump's tariff exemptions did not shield beef and coffee, two of Brazil's key exports to the U.S. The new tariffs will go into effect on August 6th, not on Friday, as Trump announced originally.
A cool down in the temperatures is slowly falling here across the Northeast, but now we have this stalled off system stretching from the Ohio River Valley that is carrying some shower and thunderstorm activity along it, so especially stretching across our mid-Atlantic there into New York, and then we will clip portions there of the southern New England area with some showers and thunderstorms with some heavier downpours possible as we head into tomorrow morning, where we are seeing stretching there even from Maryland through even up towards Connecticut and Massachusetts. Will there be some regions accumulating over 2 inches of rainfall? So flooding potential to monitor here as we round off the end of the work week. But we are noting that the system that has dropped in is bringing some big time relief in that warmth for those northern communities. Still a little warm and muggy there for the mid-Atlantic. But looking at tomorrow, everyone is falling into the 70s, and we will clear out of the system with some brighter skies for the weekend.
Well, rain today with temperatures a lot cooler, only getting into the upper 60s. Some clouds this evening giving way to mainly clear skies overnight with lows in the mid-50s. On to Friday and the 1st of August. Mostly sunny with temperatures in the mid-70s. Saturday, mostly sunny, upper 70s. Sunday, mostly sunny, low 80s. Monday, partly cloudy with temperatures in the low 80s. Meadville this morning, checking in at 64 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 62. 66 in Titusville, 68 Franklin, 69 in Oil City. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. So much cooler. But when you look at the weekend, there's some big events coming up Thunder in the City in Meadville with great entertainment, food trucks, all sorts of events. You got the Pleasantville Festival happening this weekend. It is going to be a gorgeous weekend. So
It is. It is perfect weather.
A lot
And
of
not too
excitement
hot.
for that. No, not too hot at all. I've talked to a lot of people this week who they're saying, again, we've been saying this all summer, like nobody wants to rush summer, but they're also like, yeah, I can't wait to get kind of into the blue jeans and sweatshirt
I can't
type
wait,
of
yeah.
weather. So
Give me a hoodie.
Hey, just 3 weeks from tomorrow, we'll be talking about the first football game. Isn't that crazy? 22nd of August.
That is crazy.
So
Crazy.
you got the Venango County Fair. We didn't mention that. Venango County Fair gets underway this weekend.
Yeah.
Crawford County Fair just a few short weeks away. So, yeah, a lot going on. Crawford Gibbs is coming up. Let's check out some baseball scores from last night. Pirates on a roll. Took 10 innings, but they beat the Giants 2-1. Other winners in Major League Baseball include the Blue Jays win over the Orioles 9-8. Red Sox batting their way past the Twins 13-1 the final there. Tigers over the Diamondbacks 7-2. Astros beat the Nationals 9-1. Cubs over the Brewers 10-3. Royals beat the Braves 1-0. Also went into 10 innings. White Sox over the Phillies 9-3. Padres beat the Mets 5-0. Guardians with the win over the Rockies 5-0. Yankees beat the Rays in 11 innings 5-4. Reds over the Dodgers 5-2. Marlins beat the Cardinals 2-0. Rangers over the Angels 6-3. A's over the Mariners 5-4. The final there. Matchups for your Thursday. You got the Yankees and Rays at 1:05. Reds taking on the Braves tonight at 7:10, and the Mariners and Rangers at 9:40 this evening. National League Central Division, Milwaukee, Chicago, Cincinnati, St. Louis, then Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh now 17 and a half games back, record of 47-62. But again, an impressive streak going here for the Buccos, picking up a number of wins and playing good baseball. Problem is, you got Milwaukee and the Cubs also continuing to play good baseball. So, yeah, that climb out of the basement's going to be pretty hard. But, hey, at least they're getting the bats going and doing some good things there. Cabron Hayes, I believe, has been traded away from the Buccos. So some Pirates news. We'll get into more of that tomorrow when Bruce Peterson joins us. Over at the American League Central Division, you got Detroit, Cleveland hanging in there. Cleveland 9 games behind Detroit. Then Kansas City, Minnesota, and the Chicago White Sox. White Sox 40-69. Ooh.
some of these teams just not good this year at all. I was going to say the A's in the American League West, record of 48-63. So, yeah, there you have that. You've got the big final weekend coming up, the PGA Tour, where you got guys that need to get in, some top spots to make it into the FedEx playoffs, and there's a lot of good players kind of looking in right now, and we'll see what happens after this weekend. But first round will get underway later today in the Wyndham Championship. Will we see your name on there someday?
No.
No. I'll tell you, you've been playing you're focused and in the zone, getting competitive, which means it tells me you're enjoying it. Just a little bit?
Yeah.
More than a little bit?
No, I am. I'm enjoying it. Not more than a little bit. A little bit.
All right.
That's all. That's all you got.
Because you play in golf outings and you just went and had fun.
Yeah.
And then it kind of grew on you?
Yeah, I think that the hard part is if you make it something where it's like a league or more aggressive competition, I'm not going to want to do it anymore. Like the minute I'm saying you, Luke Rio, start applying pressure and whatever.
Me? Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah. Then it's like, I don't want to do this.
I thought you were excited about the thought of eventually when, the kids are, out of the house, gone, to maybe do a couples golf league or something.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But I'm just saying, if it's something where we're in a competition and it matters and, no.
Yeah. I think, I probably played more golf this summer than I have the last couple years.
Yeah.
Combined. Because it's been fun.
It has. Keep it that way. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
Bet you Tambra doesn't get into these fights.
I don't play golf.
No, but she's competitive, though.
I am.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But that hasn't taken the fun out of it.
Not yet. No, I'm just, giving you a heads up.
Not yet.
Yeah. It could take the fun out of it for both of us.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Well, again, the Wyndham Championship first round gets underway. Can you believe it's already Thursday?
I know.
Woo.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm going to be paying attention this weekend because this will be Ian Baker Finch's last broadcast.
I don't know when you'll be paying attention because it's like a jam-packed weekend.
Well,
but
Sunday.
That's okay.
Sunday.
Okay.
For the final round.
Okay. Until we go golfing.
I'll be calling you. I'll be watching golf, and then I'll be like, "Hey, let's get out of here." Well, we had so much fun last Sunday where it was, 9 holes, but it's like, hey, maybe they'll let us play a few extra, and then a few extra turned into a whole other 9.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of fun. So.
Good times.
And it's supposed to be, again, the weather's supposed to be outstanding. So, yeah, probably we'll be trying to sneak out to enjoy that. You mentioned, I can't remember exactly what you said, Weird Instrument Day or whatever that
Weird
is.
Weird Instrument, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I had a text message that somebody did look up the Q chord.
Yeah.
And how would you describe the Q chord?
I can't describe the Q chord. I can't.
It's like an electronic keyboard.
Not keyboard even. I don't even know. I can't describe the Q chord. I can't. You'd have to come see it.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Not a strange instrument because it's just well known, but it was impossible to play, and as a kid it was kind of annoying, and then as a parent it was extremely annoying when the kids would bring home a recorder.
Oh gosh, yeah.
From school.
The Q chord is nothing like a recorder.
No, not at all.
Nothing.
Do you know anybody who has ever played the recorder well? Mm-mm. Like, I feel like that was designed to just annoy people.
Yeah,
it's impossible.
Yeah. No, I'm not a It was just always a high pitch, obnoxious.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're playing other than hot cross buns.
Hot cross, Mary Had Little Lamb, hot cross buns.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, just even when you
do they still do that in school?
I don't know. Even when you think like, okay, I'm getting this, I'm almost done with the song, and then you get that high pitch like squeak.
That's what we should do. We've talked about this so much. We should bring on a music teacher from the district.
We should.
And drill them about the recorder.
No. We need to bring them in and say, okay, you play it right.
Oh, yeah. You make it sound non-obnoxious.
Tell me this isn't designed to be annoying.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to work on that.
Okay, look out if you are a music teacher.
Can you reach out to somebody?
Sure, I will. Gladly.
All right.
Bring your recorder.
I think that would be outstanding, yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
A true test. Can you play this without making it squeal?
Yeah.
Oh.
We might have
that
to.
moment when the kid would come home.
Yeah.
Man, that was just a horrible thing. It's like, okay, here we go.
I remember purposely just playing it to drive my sisters nuts.
Oh, yeah.
I hated it myself,
Yeah.
It didn't sound like anything, but it made them mad, so.
But Mom, Dad, I have to learn how to play this.
This is my homework. That was summer.
Canada intends to recognize the State of Palestine at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in September 2025.
There is no military purpose in starving thousands and thousands of children. Let us be clear.
For over 11 years, Triple M Roofing has been providing Amish quality craftsmanship and work ethic that you can rely on. Pole barns, decks, porches, siding, and almost all roofing needs, Triple M Roofing will get the job done on time without sacrificing quality or the promise to deliver within your budget. Call today for a free estimate, 814-964-0472. Waiting is what you'll do with the other guys. Getting it done is what we do. Amish owned and operated, we're Triple M Roofing.
Who can solve this equation? Ooh, me. Anyone else? Fine. Jake from State Farm. Again.
Right. It's the personal price plan theorem. If you bundle your home and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you.
Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
Poppy's Equipment and Storage Rental in Pleasantville is committed to providing our customers with exceptional service while offering quality rental equipment. Poppy's is now an authorized steel dealer with everything you need to have for sawing and cutting or mowing to digging. And of course, Poppy's has tents, tables, chairs, heaters, generators, barbecues, and more for your next wedding or get-together. Need firewood or propane? No problem. Whether you're in construction or a weekend warrior, reach out to Poppy's about your next project. Poppy's Place on the Tenesta Road in Pleasantville. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
Fat Chad's Brewing is Titusville's premier dining destination, offering fine dining served with a cold beverage and great conversations. Try our new menu items, the T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Our pasta entries and sandwiches are just as popular. Try the new lobster ravioli, shrimp and scallop pasta, or our popular Asiago chicken. Don't forget about our famous burgers or fish sandwich, all served with fresh cut fries. Come in Saturday nights for Wild Game Saturdays. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
U.S. stocks ended well off earlier highs on Wednesday, with the Dow losing nearly 0.4%, the S&P 500 dipping fractionally, and the Nasdaq notching a slight gain. The Federal Reserve concluded its July policy meeting on Wednesday by keeping interest rates unchanged as expected. But for the first time in more than 30 years, two members of the voting committee dissented, with both seeking an immediate rate cut. Nancy Tengler is CEO and Chief Investment Officer at Laffer Tengler Investments.
I actually think it's kind of refreshing. The groupthink at the Fed has always bothered me, where it's a unanimous vote every meeting. I think what it's setting up is a debate for the future, and maybe around Jackson Hole. But certainly there are many, at least in my position as investors, professional investors, that think the Fed should begin cutting. They are laser focused on tariffs. That isn't even really their mandate, though they're tying it to inflation. But we think that there's a number of reasons that the Fed should be thinking about cutting.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell, however, chilled expectations of a September rate cut by saying it was too soon to tell whether the economic data would support such a move. Later in the day, markets turned their focus to earnings from two members of the Magnificent Seven. Shares of Meta soared 10% in extended trading after the Facebook parent forecast third-quarter revenue well above Wall Street expectations and raised the lower end of its capital expenses forecast for the year. And shares of Microsoft rose more than 7% in extended trading after handily beating Wall Street's revenue expectations. The tech giant reported blockbuster growth at its Azure cloud computing business and growing returns from its massive bets on AI. Investor focus now turns to Amazon and Apple ahead of their earnings results on Thursday.
Joining us this morning is the Executive Director of the Titusville Alumni Association, Tambra Warner Sabatini. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you?
We are ready to go.
You're always ready to go.
I'm always ready to go.
There's a lot that's been going on with the Titusville Alumni Association. Give us just a recap again of the organization for those not familiar, because I think there's a lot of schools that say, Wait,
What do
you
you
have
do?
an alumni association?
Mhm.
How'd you do that? We'd love to do something like that.
Back in 1996, we had a really great core of individuals connected to the school, and I could name them all off, but we'll just keep moving on, who had a vision to do more for the alumni who've graduated from not just Titusville High School, but also Pleasantville High School and St. Joseph's Academy. You know, to try to keep that community together, try to keep the heritage together of everybody, and you know, also provide a way to provide scholarships for our students in the community. So that was kind of the initial basic core idea, and then also to, you know, do some networking for people when they're looking for positions, or, you know, that all those pieces kind of came together, and over 30 years, they definitely have morphed. We'll be 30 years old next year.
Wow.
Next year's kind of a cool year. We have a lot to talk about what next year's going to be,
Okay.
too. So
Great. So, yeah, it's really amazing what it has grown into. And you've been in the position now for how long?
This is the third year.
That's crazy.
I know, isn't it fast?
Wow.
It's just insane.
So are you to the point where, like, you feel like you really have your stamp on the position?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Are there still some areas where you're like, I think I'd like to change maybe how this was done?
Well, we did the big change that I've been wanting to do.
I know. You're going to talk about it, I hope.
We are.
You're good.
That was the big change I've been kind of pushing for a few years now, and there's some reasons why I wanted to go that direction that I think are very important to why that changes. But yeah, you know, and one of the things I brought in was the publishing side. So we have some really big goals still ahead for that will come together for next year more. So
Great.
Yeah.
Well, you might as well just jump into
Okay.
it. What's the big change?
Well, the big change we did this year, and hopefully if you're an alumnus, you got your new version of the Alumni News. There we go. And it's a nice little, you know, college level magazine format, all color, full color. You know, we've tried to keep the content kind of the same. It has a different approach on some areas, but it mails easier. And here's the big side. We'll be able to change some of that mailing list into an email list. We could never email the other version. It was just the files were too big. So one of my goals to cut down on expenses would be to create just an email version. I mean, the version will work now, but just an email list of, hey, I'll take it in the email side of things. So, and one of the things that's always been an issue, not an issue, but we have the envelope inside. And that envelope is quite valuable to us, you know, because that's how we receive most of our funding is through that envelope. So the checks come back with that, and they designate on there, you know, where they want the money to go to, whether it's a scholarship or a memorial or the general designation. But in the last year, we added the QR code. And we also put it throughout the magazine. And this time around, we received the most online donations immediately following that we have yet.
Wow.
And the reason for that, and this was one of the things I talked about when I came in the interview, first of all, is that I had just gone through a situation where my oldest daughter didn't have checks for something she had to do. She had to get a money order. She didn't know how to get a money order. You know, that younger generation does not have checks. So they're not going to send us checks. And since we've instituted the online donations, we use Stripe, that's accelerating. So we're finally, that's one aspect of tapping into, you know, from the 1990s forward, essentially, who don't use checkbooks. Like, we've kind of missed a huge segment for a long time. You know, this was instituted in 96, but around that time is when people started doing more online banking. So there's a lot of people who don't have checkbooks, but they'll click that button.
That's great.
So that's made a big difference. And then
so the original version of the newsletter was black and white newspaper-esque looking paper, right? So it's gone from a black and white, and again, it's a big paper,
full-size newspaper,
which was really cool.
Nostalgic wise, it's awesome.
Yeah,
you know.
To this, which is. I was telling you when you came in, like, the comments I'm hearing are, this is amazing. You know, it's color. First of all, there's a prize that it's color.
Right.
But it's so beautiful. Yes.
Thank you.
So congratulations.
I won't tell you how fast it went together the middle of scholarship week.
Oh.
But that's the beauty of this also. The other version takes a long time to put together.
Yeah.
This version, 3 days. Like 3 days, because we're compiling articles and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
But
well, I was going to ask you,
fast.
you rely on others, right, to help supply you with information to a degree.
To a degree.
Right.
Right. And I'm always soliciting that information on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Send me your stories. Send me your articles. Send me your everything.
So it has to be pretty amazing to be in your position where not only are you uncovering all this, great information, but you're also receiving things from people that you might not have ever heard from.
Know.
Yeah.
Had a great response this week. Received a letter from a woman from the class of 58, and she shared her scholarship story. I shared it on the Facebook page yesterday, how she had received a scholarship back in 58, which I didn't even know any existed back then. But she shared her story and her journey, where she retired at the end after being an English teacher. She retired as a PNC bank executive. So the stories are really interesting to me, and it's fun to be able to share them on the Facebook page. So the Facebook page, the social media site, has really supplemented this and crossed over quite a bit, because this gets all the audiences. That's getting a lot of audience. So I posted a graphic yesterday. Since January through the end of June, we had 1.7 million views. Yeah, that's the one. She had such a great story.
Wow.
Thank you. And but we've had 1.7 million views since January, just through the end of June. And that's because people are interested. They want to stay connected. There we go. And the newsletter's been a great resource over the years for keeping people connected, but it's been kind of, still the snail mail sort of sides of things. So now we're really doing it more in real time, but this helps cement everybody. This gives them a piece of the school, of what they had as their heritage. So they're both valuable pieces.
I don't know why. I'm always reminded during football season, and I don't know if it's just because football's at night or if it's just the sport that people want. I don't know. It is amazing to me to see the people who reach out on a Friday night with comments.
Right.
And we're watching from Utah
I
or
see
Alaska.
those on your show.
I'm like,
but they'll dial in.
Yes.
It's amazing. Dial in. Sorry.
AOL.
I know. Sorry.
Back to the black and white mail
Exactly.
in. Yeah.
It's amazing, though, because that's the reach of our community. And it is a community. And they want to stay connected. They want to see the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren of the people they went to school with. Or if they're younger, hey, how's the team doing this year? I played on that team.
And sometimes we'll joke because, Steve and Jim, everybody's focused on the game, right? But a lot of people are tuning in because they remember Carter Field.
Exactly.
They want to see the band or hear the band. They want the cheerleader. The whole environment of a Friday night where they go, I remember sitting in those bleachers or in the stands.
It's such a nostalgic feeling.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I think people get that when they get the newsletter. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, the weeks following each release of the newsletter, my office is swamped with phone calls, emails, letters, multiple correspondence, and drop-ins. They'll just walk in. I'm like, okay. It gets really busy because they're reminded of their heritage. They're reminded of the good times they've had. And even people are like, I didn't have that great of a time in school. They're still very nostalgic for the good times they had. And that's what's important, because it does shape us and form us. And, those 12 years that we spent with each other. And that's the beauty of the All School, That's an amazing night. The vibe of the last few years has just been phenomenal.
Let's
segue right to that.
Yeah, Oil Festival's coming up, and that's a big time for the Alumni Association as well.
We've actually, we've had the All School reunion, I don't know how many years. You probably know better than I do.
A few.
Quite a few. And it's definitely grown. The venue we've moved it to at the Ironworks is such a good flowing venue for everybody. And we've packed it out the last couple years, literally to the tune of, last year I think we had 1,000 people coming and going. By the end of the night, that was the count, give or take.
Wow.
100 on either side of that. And they're not there the whole night. It's a flow. That's the fun part of it. You can flow through that place, and you turn around and you see somebody you hadn't seen in 30 years and go, hey, this is so cool to see you. You chat for a minute, then you turn around this way and it's somebody else, then you turn around that way, and then you turn around, it's that constant. This is amazing that I have all these people that I know and who actually genuinely care about me. That's the beauty of the small community. even somebody you might not have had a good vibe with back then, they see you now or you see them, you're like, you kind of really want to know how they're doing.
Yeah.
You do care.
Yeah. Well, and it's multiple generations
That's what I like.
Yeah, that's the amazing part.
Because we may have had a class we went to school with, but we definitely knew the 2 or 3 classes ahead of us and the 2 or 3 behind us. So you have kind of a 5 or 6 year span of people, but you also know their families. So maybe you went to school with this one's sister or this one's uncle or this one's cousin,
Yeah. Well, I think, too, and this sounds kind of horrible, but, like I look at some of our class. Well, everybody knows each other through Facebook or you see them around and you're like,
I kind of know what they're doing.
Yeah, we already know. Mm-hmm. But I'd like to catch up with so-and-so.
Exactly.
Or there's a lot of teachers or faculty that come to these, even if they didn't graduate here, that just want to see students.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of that part.
Yes.
You see everybody. So that night, we actually have the earliest class that is coming in. I think we have some from the 1960 coming in, but we definitely have a class reunion meeting there for 65. So they're meeting Friday night. We've actually tried to encourage classes to have their reunions during Oil Fest alumni. We're calling it Alumni Weekend because we've kind of branched out. But because of that, you have a chance to see more. Some people hesitate to go to their class reunion because they're like, oh, it's the same, how many people, I've seen them, I know them, or I didn't really hang out with them. But this gives you a chance to reconnect with them and then not have that feeling of being stuck in a room with them. I mean, because some people really have trauma over that. It's kind of weird. I'm like, just chill. But this way they get to see everybody. Ahead, behind, years ahead, teachers, like you said. So they can meet with their class. They can still do their own things throughout the weekend, and they'll meet up and do different things. So we have the class of 65 on Friday the 8th. We have the class of 85 on Friday the 8th. The class of 95 is going to meet at Fat Chad's from 5 to 8, and Joe Thompson and Chad Koval will be up there. And then
I think they have a reunion, don't they?
They do.
Class?
Yeah, so they have a band and everything coming in. They'll be out on the street up there for their class. But they'll be morphing back and forth all night. That's the fun part of that. And then we have the class of 2000 on the Friday the 8th. And then on Saturday night, we have the class of 2005 and 2015 on Saturday night at the Ironworks. So It's a nice way to get everybody in for the weekend. And you have a chance to just talk with so many people.
Let's do this real quick. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel, talking about the Alumni Association and so much going on. Oil Festival weekend. There's always something going on every day in the office. But, Tambra, I was thinking, too, it's funny how the couple things that I hear year after year. One is this was so much fun. Mm-hmm. We got to make plans to come back next year for those who live out of town.
Exactly.
And then the other thing is, well, I was only planning on stopping for a minute, and I got to get back to this, but I'll be back. I got to come back to this.
3 hours later.
Yeah, exactly.
So the fun part of that is so that's the kickoff for the weekend. There's a lot of things going on. If you haven't picked up the Oil Festival rack card, it is available around town, and there's all kinds of events and activities on there, including ours. But we kick off Friday night at 5 o'clock on Friday the 8th at the Titusville Ironworks. We'll have DJ Posey again this year, and he kicks off the music at 5 with music from the 50s. And then we do the 60s, et cetera, through the evenings. So it's a fun vibe. If you like to dance, I'm telling you, that dance floor never stops the whole night. This is a dancing town. They love to dance.
Maybe you could talk a little bit about this. The Alumni Association maybe helped play a role in the theme for this year?
We did. We really, we had a couple new members on the committee also, and we really wanted refocus why we have our Oil Festival and parade and everything. So we're blessed, obviously, with several illustrious alumni, including, Ida Tarbell and John Heisman. And so we wanted to include them, and of course, we can't not include Colonel Drake, but
now,
so we had a fun.
Who's that?
Who's that? So we had a fun little, I guess you've seen it before already, but the drawing came together really well, and it was kind of one of those middle of the night. Somebody said, "You need a tagline. You need a tagline." I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I woke up in the middle of the night with the tagline, the power of the pass, which is Heisman's forward pass that he's renowned for, the pen, which of course is Ida Tarbell and her writing and journalism, and petroleum. So it worked out really well for a fun tagline to give kind of a theme to it.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. So that was fun. Yeah.
And again, it's really just it's the whole weekend is just
It's
amazing.
jam-packed.
And you said you've encouraged maybe class reunions to take place. I know family reunions. People try to
Right.
have those around
They
this
have a lot
time,
of big family picnics. Mm-hmm.
and it brings in lots of people.
Yeah, it does. It's just, there's just so many. And that's the goal for the Oil Festival as well, because the alumni all-school reunion brings in an influx of people beyond just the local communities. And that's the idea, is we really want to support what we have going on through Oil Fest. So we purposely don't schedule anything on Saturday during Oil Fest. We've scheduled in a few symbiotic activities over the weekend. So we have Friday night, and we actually have two alumni, Sue and Bill Weeder, who have Market Square, and they have a really, like, what is it called? The wine shine and brew from 5 to 9. So there'll be people up there for a bit, and then they'll come down here, and then they'll go back up. So, you know, we don't want to take away from our merchants in town. We want to be able to support our people coming in and spreading themselves around all weekend long. That's really something I feel very strongly about. So we don't schedule anything on Saturday, although I do have the class of 2010 doing a tour at 9:30 Saturday morning.
Oh, wow.
So, but there are a lot of good things going on Saturday. And then we've added on, last year we added on the pancake breakfast, which really kind of shocked us how many we came. We had 100 people show up for that.
Wow.
Between 8 and 11 on Sunday morning. So we ended up having a really fun morning, and then we kind of stuck around. People stayed around all day, just hanging out for the most part. But I've been hearing off and on over the last few years that we have that Yesteryear in Titusville group on Facebook, and they share so many amazing things. And I was kind of chatting with Bob Joyce about it down the Ironworks, because his place is like this museum. You know, you walk in there and you want to see everything. So I said, what if we did... This is going to segue into what I would like to see more of Titusville do for the Oil Festival, is bring in more antique vendors and things for the weekend. So I really kind of want to bring in that whole vintage heritage side of what we have and kind of cover that weekend with that vibe. So we're doing a fun thing on Sunday afternoon that we hope will jive well with what's going on at Drake Well too. So we're going to do it from noon to 4. And it's a Yesteryear and meetup group, but it's anybody can come into it. And what we want them to do is kind of a show and tell Antiques Roadshow thing. Bring in your treasures, talk about it, share them, set them out on a table, mix, mingle. 2 o'clock, we're going to do a stereoscopic, which is the 3D presentation of old oil and history, 3D images from that time period, and there'll be a quick presentation on that. But if somebody wants to do a quick presentation on what they have, we would love to do that. It's an event I'd like to see grow.
That's really cool.
Yeah, there's so much they have to share.
Is this? Have you seen items over the years that people post like, "Hey, yeah, I have this. It's really..."
So many things.
Okay.
You just sit there and you think, "Come on, people, we want to see this in person and tell us more." I'd like to actually walk around and do some oral histories too, and then tie that in a bit, because we're kind of losing the generations who have those ties to those people. And, you know, we don't want to lose that. And, you know, the Historical Society is doing an amazing job. Drake Well does an amazing job. We're just trying to jump in a little piece of that, in the sense of not to take from either one, but to help bring more to it.
Do you have anybody who will be there that could help if somebody says, "I have this, but I don't know what it is"?
We're working on that.
Oh, okay.
There are some experts in the group, so I'm really hoping that, you know, they'll participate the way we envisioned it becoming. So this is kind of a test year. If they have a way they'd like to see it develop, we'd like to do that.
But I'll tell you what, there's times where I think, oh, I could get a hold of David Weber because to help with this. It's like, oh, yes, he passed away.
Right. But we have other locals.
Yeah, and I think that, as you're saying, you know, it's really important to kind of keep that history alive to have people understand what that history is.
Yeah, and to have the face-to-face. You know, social media is great, but the power of the all-school reunion and these kind of events is you are face-to-face with people in an ever-increasingly segmented world of social media.
Yes.
That is very important.
I'll tell you the other thing. if you think, oh, maybe I'm not going to see that many people in my class, and I don't know if I can relate. If you're from here, they'll welcome you with open arms.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes it's the locals who show up the least, and that's frustrating. They're like, oh, we see everybody. I'm like, no, these people don't come in and you don't.
Especially
so
this weekend.
Right. So just get in there and see us all and say hi. I always tell people, just tackle me, because otherwise I'm going to be like flying around the room all night.
It's like, I always hate to say hi to you because you're
I know,
around.
please, because other's it's just like blip, blip, blip. I'm like a little, Pac-Man thingy.
I think usually I give you like the thumbs up or like, hey, this is awesome. Good job.
It's all good. It's all good.
Well, if folks have questions, want more information, want to support the Alumni Association, how do they get a hold of you? How do they find you?
You can call the school, and it's 814-827-2715, and the switchboard will put you over to me. Obviously, Facebook, message me on there. And if you haven't followed us there, I put out a ton of information. There's no ending to the bucket there of fun stuff to share. Those are the two best ways. Email is Titusville_alumni@gorockets.org. We have a donation link on the Go Rockets site under our alumni. You can go there, and on the Facebook page, so you can always support us that way.
And if you're moving, you got to let the Alumni Association know.
Oh, please. So. I get so many calls. I'm not at this address, or from the person who's at that. So they haven't lived here. I'm like, okay, off with that one. So then I lose that person.
Yeah. You don't know what you don't know.
No.
People got to let you know. So.
Exactly.
It's so good to see you. All the best.
I do have stuff we need to come in and talk about again for next year. So we'll set up another date.
We need to do more of this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Canada intends to recognize the State of Palestine at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in September 2025.
There is no military purpose in starving thousands and thousands of children. Let us be clear.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell-focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years' experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Ray and Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
U.S. stocks ended well off earlier highs on Wednesday, with the Dow losing nearly 0.4%, the S&P 500 dipping fractionally, and the Nasdaq notching a slight gain. The Federal Reserve concluded its July policy meeting on Wednesday by keeping interest rates unchanged as expected. But for the first time in more than 30 years, two members of the voting committee dissented, with both seeking an immediate rate cut. Nancy Tengler is CEO and Chief Investment Officer at Laffer Tengler Investments.
I actually think it's kind of refreshing. The groupthink at the Fed has always bothered me, where it's a unanimous vote every meeting. I think what it's setting up is a debate for the future, and maybe around Jackson Hole. But certainly there are many, at least in my position as investors, professional investors, that think the Fed should begin cutting. They are laser focused on tariffs. That isn't even really their mandate, though they're tying it to inflation. But we think that there's a number of reasons that the Fed should be thinking about cutting.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell, however, chilled expectations of a September rate cut by saying it was too soon to tell whether the economic data would support such a move. Later in the day, markets turned their focus to earnings from two members of the Magnificent Seven. Shares of Meta soared 10% in extended trading after the Facebook parent forecast third-quarter revenue well above Wall Street expectations and raised the lower end of its capital expenses forecast for the year. And shares of Microsoft rose more than 7% in extended trading after handily beating Wall Street's revenue expectations. The tech giant reported blockbuster growth at its Azure cloud computing business and growing returns from its massive bets on AI. Investor focus now turns to Amazon and Apple ahead of their earnings results on Thursday.
Well, a lot cooler today. Periods of rain with temperatures in the mid-60s. Some clouds this evening, giving way to mainly clear skies tonight, and a low in the low 50s. Friday, the 1st of August, mostly sunny, mid-70s. Saturday, mostly sunny, upper 70s. Sunday, mostly sunny, low 80s. And Monday, back to work with partly cloudy skies and highs in the low 80s. Area temperatures this morning, Meadville checking in at 63 degrees, Camber Springs, Edinburgh at 61, 64 in Titusville, 69 in Franklin, 69 in Oil City. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Joining us this morning, our friends from Drakewell Museum and Park. It's Emily Weaver and new to the program, John Hetrick. John, Emily, good to see you this morning. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for having us on here.
John, before we learn about you, Emily, give us a quick rundown of what's been happening at Drakewell.
What hasn't been happening at Drakewell? It's been a very busy summer, and the summer is slipping by very quickly as a result. But today is our last day of the children's camp that we do, Discovery Day Camp. So we did that every Thursday here this month. It was well attended. We had over 20 kids at each day.
Wow.
So we were really excited to have it, and it was sponsored by CSR Services. So we're really grateful for their help in making the camp possible. But I don't have a lot to do with the camp, but I think everyone's kind of like, it was a great time, but we're all okay with it being the last day. So
on to the next, though, right?
Yeah. So on to the next stuff is August. August is always a very busy month for us, and it, rightfully so. It's the anniversary month of Drake's Well. August 27th, 1859. So 166 years ago this coming month that, he came to Titusville, and the rest is history,
Yeah.
But
is it pretty powerful to have somebody like Sarah Goodman, who was around then, to be able to share that history? Or is that,
Yeah, in fact, it's amazing that she has lived this long.
Yeah,
and we
absolutely.
can go to her every time and say, so what was it like?
What was it like? Yeah, not everybody has that. So before we really get into a lot of what's coming up in August, John, tell us about yourself. Where are you from?
Well, I grew up in Emlenton, Pennsylvania, and I work at the museum now, but I've been working there for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
I started out running the replica, so I ran the steam engine and things in the building. And then when I saw them listed for this position, I knew I liked the people. I knew I liked working there, so I figured it would be a good opportunity.
And the position that you're now in is what?
It's called an outreach coordinator. So what I'm doing is I'm going places, I'm setting up the table and saying, hey, come to Drakewell. I'm putting together... we used to have something a few years ago called the Meet You program, which was a box trailer that was set up inside with displays and history and information, kind of focused a lot more on the science and things rather than just the history. But it was a sort of a mobile information unit that was able to go to schools, go to events. We all over Pennsylvania, down into Virginia, Ohio. We would end up at the Carnegie Science Center every once in a while, stuff like that. Just presenting that to mainly kids, mainly geared towards younger individuals. But, as a whole, it was that information. It supplied it to people who couldn't necessarily always get to the museum. So now what I do is it's a little bit more museum-centric. So I'm getting information about the museum out there. I'm getting information on what we do, what we specialize in, sort of what the information, the people, the places, stuff like that. As of late, I've been going around to a few different events. I've got plans coming up for Oil Fest, having our booth set up, just things like that.
Very cool. So, it sounds like you get to do things at the museum, but also travel a bit. And
it's
visit with people.
It's pretty neat. I've gone so far. I haven't done too much that's too far. The furthest out I've been is I went out to the Pennsylvania Lumber Museum for their Bark Peeler Festival. So that's out past Coudersport. and their Bark Peelers Festival is very similar to what we do for Drake Day, but based around the early days of the Pennsylvania lumber industry.
Oh, wow. So I never knew that existed. That's really
it's a cool
It's
place.
pretty sweet.
So you probably learn things as well. You're teaching somebody something, and you're probably learning something.
Oh, I'm always learning things. I love working around a museum because there's always somebody who's got a story about something, especially being based around an industry that is so integral to us in this area. Everyone's got a grandfather who was a driller or, worked with a torpedo company or did something like that. Or they themselves worked in the oil fields, remember going out, tripping over rod lines in the woods and stuff like that.
Wow.
It's just neat.
Yeah, it's cool. So, Emily, we come into August here. You mentioned it's a pretty big month.
It's a killer.
Yeah, just kind of list some of the things, again, that are taking place because there's a lot to take in.
There is. So right off the bat, we're going to be having, first is, of course, the Titusville Oil Festival, which we, take part in. John, now that he's here, he can run the tent down at Scheide Park during the food and craft vendor event that they have for Oil Festival. We've been doing that now. This is, third year since I've been here that we've been down at the festival and had a tent, information, talking to locals, talking to people visiting back to the area during the festival. And we're going to have a parade entry this year. John's been working on that. We're going to have an engine on a trailer.
Yeah.
Which engine are we taking?
So we are bringing an Oil City Boiler Works. It's an older gas engine I believe it's the one that actually used to sit by the caretaker's cottage.
Sorry, it's not a Titusville engine.
We do have some Titusville engines, but this one was the best shape for us to use this year. But
no one needs to know.
But I've spent better part of yesterday getting it all cleaned up, scrubbing it down. Today we're going to coat it with some oil just to protect it. And then we actually have it on the back of one of our trucks we have for doing stuff around the site. And the hope is we're going to have a few people, standard parade stuff, throwing candy, all that good stuff. And then we actually have a very special guest we're going to feature in our truck as well. Someone very important to us at the well, who also, cares a lot about Titusville.
Are we allowed to say?
I don't know why we wouldn't be.
Jerry Knickerbocker.
Yeah.
He's a great friend of Drakewell.
That's sort of the whole thing. It's the theme this year is Heisman and Friends, and who better to have as a friend in our float than someone who's been super important to a lot of the stuff we do and stuff around in Titusville.
So we'll be busy both days of the festival. And then wait, there's more. We're also going to be having our Drake Day event the day after on Sunday, August 10th. Wow. So because we don't like to relax. So last year was circus, as you know. This year is not circus, but I am really excited about this year's event. It's all living history. So what that means is, reenactors. We're going to be having some demonstrations going on, blacksmiths, coopering demonstrations. Coopers make the barrels. That was a big, part of the oil region here in the oil boom days. So trying to portray like what it was like here during the oil boom, like 1860s, 1870s, right after Drake's famous strike. So, and we're also going to be having a local author from Mercer County. Her name is Cynthia Frank Kreitzer, and she wrote a book called A Civil War Husband, and she's going to be doing a presentation on that at 1 o'clock that day too. So there's going to be all kinds of different things going on. I'm looking forward to it. It's always nice to have a day at Drakewell where there's more than just the ordinary going on and seeing more people visiting the site. So It'll be fun. Yeah.
And then right after that is the marathon?
Yeah. I was thinking fall gasp, and then you're like marathon. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. August 17th. It's just a little old fundraiser called the Drakewell Marathon and Half. Registration for that is still open. We'll have it open up until like the morning of the event. You can register. All proceeds benefit Friends of Drake Well, and then, of course, in turn, Friends of Drake Well supports Drake Well Museum. So it all goes back to the site. We've been having the marathon for many years. It's a lot of work. Adam Peterson is our race director, and believe it or not, he is directing the race from, I believe he's over in Kuwait right now. He's deployed.
Wow.
So him and I have been actually running this event through, what's the I think it's a chat app. Yeah, WhatsApp. Thank you. Okay. I'm like 38. Anyway, so we've been, texting back and forth on there. It's kind of amazing. He's way overseas, and we're actually doing really well with the event. I mean, it's right on track. So
that's great.
So that's kind of interesting. So we're looking forward to that. That's August 17th, and then we'll have Fall Gas Up on September 13th. And I know September, that's not August, but trust me, it all, like, we get like maybe 1 week of no event, and then we're right back into it. So the Fall Gas Up is one of my favorite events personally, so I'm looking forward to that.
Now, fall, you guys do some school tours?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
I believe if Sarah was here, she would know the count, but she already has quite a few school tours booked.
Wow.
And we're still doing the free admission, free transportation. Crawford Gives is coming up on August 12th. That's another thing that I'm working on, behind the scenes, during all of this, is getting us onto that program. We're going to be fundraising specifically for the transportation portion of that school program.
That's
to raise some money for that. So we're really excited.
That's wonderful.
Mhm.
And then, you get into the fall season, and we can get into a little bit of that, but it's just kind of like winds up.
Well, and he's going to be going to Crawford County Fair. So it's like Oil Fest, Drake Day, Marathon, Crawford County Fair, Crawford Gives, and then Fall Gas Up.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, are you there all week at the Crawford County Fair, or just a couple days or a day?
As of right now, we're definitely going to be there on Titusville Day. Looking at it right now, we're probably going to be there for 2 or 3 other days as well, just kind of spread out through that.
Yeah.
We usually team up with Crawford County Historical Society.
Yeah,
they
nice.
have their permanent exhibit there.
Yes.
Josh Sheritz has always been really cool to work with. From the beginning, he was like, well, if you guys ever need a spot, come up to our building, and you're welcome to have a display there. So we're working with him on that. But Titusville Day was moved to Friday. We just found that out through the chamber. So we will be there.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll be doing football that night. First football game.
Ooh,
That's
early.
rough. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Friends from Drake Well Museum and Park with us here this morning. Here's a great picture of John out and about. This is a Cool Spring Power Museum. But
it's a great picture.
Yeah, but again, that just shows you what to expect. What kind of questions do people ask you when they come up to visit?
They're very varied. One of my favorites I get is pit hole open. I get that a lot. Pit hole, unfortunately, does have a shorter schedule whenever we're open, just because we are running it, as well as running the main site, as well as doing caretaking for like McClintock, the McClintock well. I get a lot of questions about, how far is it from here? Which lets me test out my Google Map brain, see if I'm thinking about it right. But really, it's a lot of people just wondering, well, what is it? What's it about? And that I love that question, because I really like what we're about. I tell people, we're an industry museum. We're based around the early days of the oil field. Big time periods are 1859 to 1890, 1900, turn of the century. Those are the times we really focus in depth on, but we cover the oil industry from 1859 all the way up to modern times. Everything that happened in between, people, places, the equipment used, the techniques used, stuff like that. I tell them we really have a neat location, because we are located just about 100 yards from that site of the original Drake well. That's really, for all intents and purposes, what kickstarted the modern oil industry. I tell them a little bit about, how we demonstrate on the site. We have our steam engine, we have our walking beam and our setup for pumping. We have our central power that runs rod lines all around the site. I tell them about how we're always doing improvements to the site. Right now, we are working on our blacksmith shop. We're putting in a coopering shop, which we've never had before. In the next few years, we're going to be setting up. We actually have another central power that a family donated to us from up in Bradford that's going to get put on the site exactly as it stood when it was there. So it'll be another engine we'll have and be running. And there's all sorts of plans for the site over the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah. The whole idea is to get people to come back to Drake Well and, in effect, come back to our region, visit our region as well. So, this is great. He mentioned the Meet You program earlier. We haven't had that since 2019 when they ended it. And then, of course, we had COVID. And it's taken this long to get an outreach program back up and running. So this is only the beginning. His display looked awesome in that picture, and he looked great. But there's going to be more to it as time goes on and we build this up. So this is very exciting.
Well, a couple things. I think if you were to describe the museum to somebody, they'd be like, not there, not Titusville. But yeah, it's here. And I was just through there May for an event, and again, you just kind of walk through and you just go, I can't believe this is here. This is a really great space. It's a wonderful museum. The other thing, you mentioned Pit Hole. Again, big celebration this year, 160th anniversary.
It all goes back to Pit Hole. That's what we say at the museum. Everything goes back to Pit Hole.
Well, it's still open Saturdays and Sundays through the end of August.
Yes, it sure is. Yep.
Take advantage of that. You mentioned not doing the circus this year. Is that something that would come back down the road, do you think? Or
possibly.
Okay.
Possibly. The circus was a lot, to put on. I'm not opposed to it. It's just maybe doing things a little different.
There's other ideas, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, of course, lantern tours. People always ask about lantern tours.
Those go on sale September 1st. So there's another thing I'll be scrambling around doing in August, is getting prepared, to launch ticket sales for that event. And, and then we have the Oil Boom Dinner coming up. I know we don't want to get into fall too much, but Oil Boom Historic Dinner is coming up September 25th. So, it's not like, an event just pops up and it's over. It's like all that planning that goes into it. We're really excited. This year, the dinner is going to be catered by the Titusville Mill. It's going to be, it's just going to be really great. We're going to have different actors and actresses portraying some of the people who lived here in Titusville and who submitted the recipes of the food that they're eating. It's going to be really fun. And I believe, I don't want to spoil it, but I think you'll get to see Barry Cressman portraying one of the members of the Scheide family. So it's a must-see.
Yeah. And he's close with the surviving members of the Scheide family.
Yeah. So. He knows a lot about that subject, so yes.
Oh, that's really cool. So that's 25th of September. That's a Thursday, right?
Yes.
So, okay.
Yeah. Seems far away, but it's not.
No, but I think people want to know ahead of time so they can start making, because things are like just so busy with things, to put something on the calendar and say, okay, we're doing this. That's important. So you've got that. Then October's lantern tours at Pit Hole. There's never a time you guys wind down, because once the winter hours come into play, there's a lot that happens at the museum in terms of getting ready for the season. How much of next year do you talk about now, and how much do you wait until the end of the year or first of the year?
Sarah and I are always planning things. She's been working on, for example, Wisdom and More, because it's coming up, it'll be in March. So she's already been doing different things with that. We've talked with our events committee, like we're already talking about next year. Next year is America's 250 birthday. And so we've been talking about how can we incorporate some of that into the programming that we're going to be doing. I don't necessarily mean we have somebody like George Washington running around, but I think, I'm going to get a little poetic, but I think Drake Well and that whole story is such a huge part of America. Like, not just the usual, we founded the oil industry, et cetera, but it's part of that whole American dream, the American innovation, ingenuity. So even though Drake didn't take place in the American Revolution, it's still very much part of that 250 years, that legacy of what America is. So
that's great. Very nice. Sorry, that does deserve a round of applause. Right?
I got a little weepy.
Ways that people can support what you guys do. Obviously, go to the museum, but you can also be a friend of
Yes, a friend of Drake Well. We always have our membership program going on. Membership includes free admission to Drake Well and Pit Hole when it's open. It also
back to Pit Hole.
Yeah, it also can include special discounts for certain events. Like Drake Day coming up. Your membership is valid for Drake Day. You get in for free. Sometimes we have member-only events. We have that one that we did in April where it's behind the scenes. So lots of cool things. And if none of that really interests you, just remember that a membership is just essentially a great way to support, Drake Well Museum. It's, giving to the museum. We always accept donations. We can do online donations. You can mail checks to us however you want. We'll have Crawford Gives coming up August 12th through 15th. That'll be a great way to give specifically to our free transportation program for school tours. But no, lots of different ways you can give. If you ever have any memorabilia, historical items in your home that relate to the early oil industry here in Pennsylvania, feel free to give our curator a call and say, hey, I have this, would you be interested in it? So that's another way that you can support too, is by helping us build up our collection. So
go through the shop, buy some stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will during the oil festival.
Oh yeah,
yes.
and plug in for the store, buy stuff at the store.
There you go. Emily, John, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. John, you'll have to come back.
I hope so.
All right.
He's coming back.
All the best.